Now today I'm going to talk to you about the power of visualization, why it's important, and 3 things that you must include when you visualize to ensure that it helps you get massive results. Now, visualization is a technique where you're focusing on positive mental images to achieve something that you want. You've probably heard of that famous quote by Einstein, "What you can imagine, you can create." So what does that really mean? Well, memory and imagination use the same neurological circuits. So the same neural processes that are activated when you perceive things with your senses are recreated when you imagine them. And that extends to what you see, what you hear, what you smell, and what you can feel and sense. So it's really important that you use all your senses to make your visualization process as powerful as possible. So there are 3 key steps that you must take when you want to visualize. First of all, you must have a specific goal or purpose for visualizing. Otherwise, it might just be daydreaming. If you simply allow your imagination to run riot and you dream about winning $1 million and you just let it go all over the place, that's actually dreaming. It's not specifically creating what you want. So make sure you have a goal or a purpose. And there's no better arena where there's a lot of research and experiments done in the art and the power of visualization than the sporting arena. In fact, many athletes, including myself, have used this to help them improve their sporting results. Michael Phelps used this so specifically in his mental training that he could literally switch a button and turn on his videotape to actually imagine himself doing the perfect race. And as we know, he won numerous gold medals at the Olympics, so we know that it works. Furthermore, in a book called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, there was a study done with basketballers. One group physically practiced for a few weeks for 20 minutes a day, and another group only mentally rehearsed. They both improved their physical performances. The people that actually practiced, it was about 24%, and those that only mentally rehearsed it, 23%. So it can make a massive difference. However, please note that if you are physically doing a performance, you must do physical training as well. When you put them both together, that's where the gold is. So you must have a goal or a purpose for doing what you're doing. Secondly, you want to associate to the feelings. Now, this is not only the feeling of how you will feel when you've achieved what you want, actually connecting with that feeling in your body, but as you're creating this mental imagery and you're visualizing your ideal performance, you might even notice how you're feeling at the beginning. So let's imagine you're going for a job interview and you know that you want to nail it, but you're a little bit nervous. So you may notice at the beginning your heart is racing and you're feeling nervous. So you want to make sure you change it and you ask yourself, how would I like to be feeling? Perhaps your heart is now beating slower and you're feeling more calm and confident. Maybe you're now putting a smile on your face so you can actually notice the difference as you're smiling. The more you get into the minute details, especially the feelings, the more that you're making your neurological circuits more powerful, like locking in a new map. So make sure that you connect with the feelings as you go through it. Now, the third thing you want to be doing is you want to practice different perspectives. So not only are you going to practice being in the picture, so you're looking through your own eyes, that's called being associated, so you're actually living the experience yourself, but what you can do is you have the ability to see yourself from many different perspectives. So you can be dissociated, you could be looking at yourself from above, from an angle, or as swimmers do, from underwater, so that you can see the different details. Imagine if you're a swimmer and you're watching yourself from underwater, you could see yourself turning perfectly in a tumble turn with your legs underwater, hitting the end of the pool at that perfect time and pushing off with a lot of power. You could see yourself from above and watch your arms in your stroke and notice how the fingers extend that extra few millimeters. So the more you get detailed about viewing your performance, from different perspectives, the more you're making it even more familiar, and you're almost locking your maps in your neurological circuits. And lastly, you must make sure that you take time, you do this consciously and purposefully and consistently. You see, visualization is a skill, and skills need to be practiced. And finally, make sure that all your senses are positive. And what that means is, not only do you want that perfect performance, what are you saying to yourself? Make sure that you're not talking or focusing about what you don't want, that your language matches up with what you want, your feelings match up with what you want. Because if you have any components that are focusing on what you can't do or won't do or might mess up on, it will pull you off from the ideal goal of doing the visualization technique. And lastly, a quote from Maxwell Maltz, which I think sums this up so well. A human being always acts and feels and performs in accordance with what he imagines to be true about himself and his environment, which goes back to the Einstein quote, what we can imagine, we can create. If you have pictures and you don't feel that you can achieve something, you won't. But if you change your pictures, you change your belief, you absolutely believe that you can do it, you feel you can do it, you will absolutely get different results. So I hope that was helpful. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please share this with anyone else you know that could benefit from this very powerful technique of visualization. It's Mandy Napier, Mindset for Success.